From the heart of downtown Omaha, it's week number 5 of Game Time on YurView. Tonight, the Iowa Western Game of the Week, Omaha Westside against Omaha Central. Hi, everybody, and welcome to a humid evening. It's the first day of fall. It feels like the middle of the summer. Alongside John Schreiner, I'm Gary Sharp. The third member of our crew is Megan Scolio. She'll be along in just a moment. And tonight, John, Westside 3-1, Central 0-4. Two teams going in completely opposite directions.
Yeah, and we've seen Westside once already this season, Gary, and they looked really good in that loss to Omaha Creighton Prep, but did come up just a bit short. And for Omaha Central, had some real struggles early on in the season, but played a lot better last week against North Platte. Just hoping they can put everything together and come up in a big spot here tonight.
Non-district game tonight. Let's first start with the Westside Warriors, the most prolific offense in Class A. And it starts with a quarterback, but then it's in the hands of Jaden Coles, who's one of the better running backs in the state so far.
Yeah, how about Jaden Coles? Had 11 touchdowns through the first 3 games of the season. He does it all. He carries it out of the backfield. They'll line up in the slot. He'll catch passes out of the backfield. Very dangerous player, super fast, super shifty. You just can't lose track of him.
For the Central Eagles, they are still trying to find their way, especially offensively. Somebody who knows his way to the end zone is the speedster, catching the ball and returning the ball, Jalen Harris.
Yeah, Jalen Harris, 4 games, 3 kick returns for touchdown. Don't kick it to Harris! And also watch him at wide receiver because he will run right by you.
Westside and Central. Kickoff is right around the corner. We'll learn more about the man that's on the sidelines for Central this year when you return. This is Game Time on YurView, the Iowa Western Game of the Week, Westside and Central tonight.
Schedule your campus visit today. Iowa Western. The world is waiting.
It's Game Time on YurView tonight, the Iowa Western Game of the Week. Number 10 Westside, 3-1 on the year, against Central, who is 0-4 from Siemens Stadium right in downtown Omaha. There's John Schreiner, I'm Gary Sharp. Let's welcome in the third member of our crew, Megan Scolio. She'll be patrolling the sidelines all night long. And Megan, speaking of the sidelines, there is a familiar face but a new position for someone on the Central sidelines this year.
Yeah, that's right, Gary. Lance Griffin is currently in his first season as the head coach of the Omaha Central Eagles, which also happens to be his alma mater. Griffin graduated from Central in 1998, and he's the second alumni head coach of the program, the other being Jay Ball, who retired at the end of this last school year. Griffin spent 2 years at the helm of Omaha Concordia prior to this, where he led the Mustangs to their first C1 state playoff appearance. He also led them to a 5-4 finish last year, which was their first winning record in school history. Now he's back at Central, stating this job is a dream come true. Gary, back to you.
Thank you, Megan. Kickoff is right around the corner tonight. Westside tries to pick up their 4th victory in a row, while Central tries to grab their first victory of the season. It's all next. Game Time on YurView.
Bouncy ball. Look, it's almost alive.
Advertising used to be simple. Make an ad, put it on TV, get results. Today, with all the new viewing options,
It's a lot more complex. At Cox Media, we make the complex simple. With precise targeting, transparency, and automation, we connect advertisers to audiences. Anyone, anywhere, on any screen. Advertising simplified. Contact Cox Media to learn more.
You're the decision maker, weighing every option to make the smartest choice. That's why you start with Nebraska Medicine, an entire network of top providers working together to keep you healthy. From extraordinary primary care to world-leading research and treatments, so you can be confident everyone's health is in good hands. The state's most comprehensive care in 19 locations. Nebraska Medicine.
You're Watching this week's Game Time on YurView, the Iowa Western Game of the Week. First day of fall, it is hot, it is humid, it'll be 89 degrees at kickoff in downtown Omaha at Siemens Stadium on the campus of Central High School. This is Game Time on YurView. That is a red-hot Westside Warrior team. Their only blemish was opening night against Creighton Prep, the game that was decided in the final seconds. I'm Gary Sharp, there's John Schreiner. Megan Scolio is with us as well on the sidelines. Westside, and we will see them again next week against currently #1 Burke. What do they have to do tonight, John, to get out of here with a 4th straight victory?
Well, I think the first key for them is to strike early, because when you're playing an 0-4 team, they can sometimes be a little bit fragile mentally. So if you put them in a hole early, they just might go away quietly and not give you much trouble down the stretch. Second, on defense, I think you have to double Jalen Harris. Maybe play some bracket coverage, one over the top, one underneath, just to shut him down and take him completely out of the game. He's the best offensive weapon that Central has. And also, don't kick him the ball.
The Central Eagles, who are 0-4, but their head coach, Lance Griffin, telling us before the game that he thought they made a lot of progress last week in their 38-23 loss to North Platte. There's a lot of things they need to have go right tonight for them to get their first victory.
Yeah, and I think the first one is, even though they're down to just 2 running backs, I think it's their 3rd string tailback that starts tonight. I think you have to establish the run, because you want to make big plays with Jalen Harris in the passing game. You've still got to make that Westside defense pay attention to the run, get them to pull up a little bit, then you can put it over their head to Harris. And on defense, it's all about pass rush. You got to move Dylan Plotz off his spot, make him throw the ball quickly, because if you don't, he will sit back there and pick you apart.
They will be going up against a Westside offense that averages 550-plus yards per game. #1 in Class A, Brett Freund, is the trigger man of this offense, now in his 9th year as the head coach. Graduate of the University of Nebraska, 53-34, led this program to a runner-up spot in 2013. They lost to Omaha North. Pretty confident about this team, 3-1. Winners of 3 in a row, and for Lance Griffin in his first year at Omaha Central, still looking for his first victory, and they haven't been given a very easy schedule. They started off the year with Burke and North back-to-back, and now get Westside here tonight. But the last couple of weeks, he thinks they've made a lot of improvement. They also are trying to overcome a lot of injuries. They won the toss, they have deferred, and they will kick off to Westside. This is a non-district game. These two teams don't play very often. They did play last year. Westside won 31-20. Central hasn't won in this series since 2009, and we are underway. Again, 89 at kickoff, and a return right up the middle, and oh my, Jaden Coles cutting it to the outside, and that's how we start this Friday night. Oh my.
Wow, I mean, the recipes for success, we said it. Quick strike, it doesn't get much quicker than that. Opening kickoff return for a touchdown, and it's about to be a 7-point hole for the Eagles, but what about that speed from Jaden Coles?
Right down the middle. You get a good look at it here on the replay as Jaden Coles, who 2 weeks ago against Millard South, 6 touchdowns, all-purpose over 300 yards. That took 12 seconds, and Westside will now attempt to go up by a score of 7-0 as Jack Bush is on the field for the PAT. What speed! Because of Jaden Cole's start to his senior year, he is starting to garner some attention from colleges, whether it be defending Division II champion Northwest Missouri State or Lindenwood University out of St. Louis, a Division II program of late. Bush's PAT is up, and it is good. And if you are late joining us, where have you been? It's already 7-0 as Jaden Coles goes nearly 100 yards on the opening kickoff for the touchdown.
Yeah, 5th game of the season. That's already Jaden Coles' 13th all-around touchdown. He has just shown up so big in changing positions this year. Played in the slot for this offense a year ago. Now they've moved him into running back. And you see it right there. Also can do some damage on special teams. And here's a big spot for this Central offense. They're going to get the ball after kicking it off 12 seconds ago. Can they come down and answer?
So 4 games this year for Westside, and they have scored 41 or more in every game. And this time they started off with a kickoff return for a touchdown. And if you are Central and you are 0-4, you're battling injuries, a lot of new faces are starting tonight. That is worst case scenario for the opening kickoff to be taken back into the end zone. So we will see how they will regroup, but that is a shock to the system. And what a start for Westside. We saw them in a high-scoring affair on the opening week of Game Time on YurView, a 45-41 thriller with Omaha Creighton Prep. We see Westside again this upcoming Thursday when they play host to #1 Burke, and they are not messing around tonight in search of their 4th in a row as Jaden Coles nearly takes it back 100 yards on the opening kickoff.
Well, and now can Jalen Harris do the old whatever you can do, I can do better?
Now, Joe Ziski, our statistician, check your record book. Have we had back-to-back kickoff returns for a touchdown to begin a football game? We will not get the opportunity here as Bush's kickoff bounces out of bounds. And, you know, it wouldn't surprise us tonight. John alluded to it in the open. If Jalen Harris is doing exactly what Jaden Coles did. Sean Johnston is our referee tonight. So the first possession for a Central offense that is averaging a shade over 200 yards per game will start on the 35-yard line. Abe Hoskins, the third, began the year as the starting quarterback, but he is out due to injury. And Richard Avila is the starting quarterback, a senior. Is the backup quarterback, also plays linebacker. And yes, wears number 21. Again, lots of injuries for Central, so they are down a couple of tailbacks. But the toss here is going to end up going for good yardage. Cutting into the outside is Trey Williams, and he is thrown down after he picks up 12.
Nice first play on offense for the Eagles. A little toss sweep play. Williams gets his way through some traffic right after taking the pitch, but finds a little bit of room out there. Here comes the traffic on the inside. Nice little cutback move. Gets into some open field, and a nice first play. Good start for this Central offense.
7-0 Westside on an opening kickoff return for a touchdown by Jaden Coles. They go right back to the well for 2. This is a Central offense. Scored 14 points in the first 2 weeks. They've scored 38 in the last 2, averaged 13 a game. Trey Williams, senior running back. See the rest of the lineup. Jalen Harris also has had 2 straight games where he's had over 100 yards receiving. It's a line that has had a lot of different moving parts. As they'll snap the ball on 2nd and 7 from midfield, down 7-0. The senior quarterback looks over a 4-man front. Westside under Freund, known for their defense. And here, big carry, short of the first down. Just charging right up the middle, Caden Dennis, the fullback. He's going to be a yard short, so they'll set up 3rd down and short against this defense.
Yeah, Gary, and while the Westside offense has been really good, we saw them in week 1 against Central. They can be had a little bit on the ground. Some big runs in that game from that Central offense, or that Prep offense. So there's some holes out there that you can take advantage of. You just got to stay with them when they go on offense.
Avila found a little seam, and he sneaks it ahead for a first down with a pickup of 4. As the drive continues for Central, that's a key 3rd down pickup.
We haven't seen Avila throw the ball yet, but he has a nice arm, throws a pretty ball. Some accuracy issues in the short range throws, but he can lay it out there for Jalen Harris to go run under. And his job is just going to be to keep things moving down the field and then hit one of those big shots on the outside.
Got into a comfort last week against North Platte. A road trip for Central. They lost 38-23, a game that they only trailed by 1 going into the 4th quarter. And this pass is going to be incomplete, but there is a pass interference that is upcoming on Tyson Guzman, the 6'3" defensive back, trying to battle the wide receiver Donald Perry downfield. And pass interference on Westside is the call, and the drive continues for Central, trying to knot it at 7.
Yeah, this was just lofted up in the air, 50-50 ball. Guzman never gets his head around and just runs right into the receiver. That's going to draw a flag just about every time. Donald Perry on the opposite side, he's had a few big catches on the season as well. He's averaging over 13 yards a catch on 2017. So he's another guy. You can't just pay attention to Jalen Harris. Obviously, you need to watch him closely, but Perry can make you pay on the backside as well.
Last week, Westside shut out Northwest. Week before, only gave up a lone touchdown to South. But now Central marches down the field trying to knot the game at 7. Minimal gain on the quarterback handoff, as that is James Archie. He is the other weapon in the passing game. But Archie, a junior running back, at a school which is known for their running backs, whether it be Gale Sayers, Keith Endzone Jones, Leotis Flowers, Calvin Jones, Amon Green. They've had a heck of a run of running backs at Central High School. David Horn, who played at Nebraska, ended his career at Northern Iowa, now has come back to his alma mater. I back you is what they used to call Central. A flag before the snap, which was off from the start. So that's actually a break for Central on the fumble. And that'll push Central back 5 yards. Central football, they won a title 10 years ago. Before that, 1984. Last year, 3-6. Jay Ball retired at the end of the year. And Central alum, former assistant here, Lance Griffin. Get a look at Lance right there. Now in his first year. He knew it would be a learning experience for not only his staff, but his team. They only returned 5 starters off that 3-win team last year. Avila chased out of the pocket, now looking deep towards the end zone, fires it up to the wide open man in the end zone, touchdown! Donald Perry in the back of the end zone, wide open.
There was nobody even close. Nobody paying attention to Perry. Easy throw for Avila. That's just a coverage breakdown. The blitz came inside, but somehow Perry gets behind everybody, and that ball did come down out of the sky eventually, right into the waiting hands of the junior receiver.
How about that? We're tied at 7. Westside takes the opening kickoff for a touchdown. Westside drives down the field and knots it at 7.
Okay, it's decision time. I want to experience a 4-year college in 2 years. I want to live on campus, but get to my career faster. I want to get started now. Find your path at iwcc.edu and get hands-on, real-world experience. Start now at Iowa Western.
Where will the next generation of caregivers come from? Who trains them? Who mentors them? Who inspires them? At CHI Health, we believe in the power of education. As partners with Creighton University, we are advancing a new era of academic health care. We're researching and collaborating to bring more minds to every case, every patient, every day. We're giving the future of care a new home. CHI Health. Imagine that.
7-7 our score. We see a lot of emotion out of that Central sideline. 0-4 to begin the year. Central football has not had a winless campaign since 1975. Small steps being taken for this Central football team. Boy, but a big statement though, John. After being behind 7-0, 12 seconds into the game, they march right down the field and get the tying score, and they did it with some authority on that drive.
Yeah, big spot there for Central to come up with that touchdown.
It is not Jaden Coles, but it is another big return by Westside. Out across the 40. Sam Parsonage. And this will be the first time we see Class A's #1 offense. 551 yards per game. Dylan Plotz, Jaden Coles, a host of wide receivers, working behind a line that is not your normal Class A sized line. but with a new addition that John will talk about here in a little bit. You'll see on the starting lineup, Alex Nielsen. You look at Dylan Plotz, one of the top quarterbacks in the state of Nebraska. Boy, did he have a night last time he was on Game Time. Threw for 369 against Prep, and he completes his first pass. Dylan Brueggemann out across the 45. That'll be a quick pickup of 5 on the first snap from scrimmage for Westside. And this is this offense. They can score in numerous ways. Caleb Schweigert, considered the top wide receiver in the state of Nebraska. Coles, you've already seen. And on second down, the carry by Coles is going to be stopped short of the first down. So it'll be about 3rd down and 2. And the Central defense has taken its lumps. Burke gave up 57. North gave up 62. We'll get another look at that Central defense in just a moment. 7-7 our score. 3rd down and 2 for the Westside offense. Hand off to the up man, and it will be a first down. Now into Central territory. He's carrying the football. Matt Gurnett.
There's the Central defense. James Archie and Caden Dennis, the defensive ends, the strength of this defense. They will need to come up big on that pass rush here tonight.
98-yard kickoff return to start the game from Jaden Coles, and then 28-yard touchdown pass for Central to tie it. And here's Jaden Coles, Gargeek vision. Try to cut outside, cut back inside, spun around, trying to hold on to the football as he's gang tackled by Eagles, and that is a first down on his opening carry.
And you see number 59 right down there in the mix. That is Alex Nielsen, who you mentioned, Gary. He started the season at fullback and middle linebacker, but due to some injuries, Austin Wall, who was a two-way starter for Westside, went down, and they had to make a move. So Nielsen gave up his fullback spot to move to guard, very unselfishly so, and is out there helping on this offensive line, who's a little bit of a mash unit right now.
And a little bit undersized, but they have found a way to work behind him, and especially Jaden Coles. 8 touchdowns on the ground this year, 452 yards. And alluded to it earlier, what a night, week 2 against Millard South, 329 all-purpose yards. He had 117 of those in the first quarter, and he's already off to a big start with a kickoff return for a touchdown, and he's knocked out of bounds after a pickup of 11. And he's got triple figures on his mind early tonight.
A little different for this Westside offense to start things out, keeping it on the ground almost exclusively. And we expect him to come out and sling it around the yard. Dylan Plotz with 1,100 yards passing already this season, and ground game full effect so far.
Yeah, he's got a compact SUV full of wide receivers. He will find one of them here. He's chased out of the pocket, and now he steps up. He's a great athlete, can run, and he's still running all the way to the 5 as he pinballed off an Eagle, and that's a pickup of 15. Boy, you throw that element into everything else that Westside offers, that is a pain in the neck for a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, the way they spread it out, the way that they just put receivers all over the field, every one of them can catch the ball, not to mention the back out of the backfield, and now you're expected to have to spy Dylan Plotz because he can do this to you. That is tough. That is stressful for a defense.
2-year starter. Here's Coles. He'll stress you out. He'll keep you up at night. He is knocked down for a pickup of 2. First contact was Zach Palladino to put down the senior, who was born in Lincoln. Started his high school career at Omaha Northwest and then transferred back to Omaha Westside. He was in the Westside school system as an 8th grader. John's got a great story up on YurView.com about the journey for Jaden Coles. Play action, toss to the end zone, wide open touchdown. And that is how Westside answers with a 3-yard touchdown pass from Plotz to Gurnett.
That didn't take a lot of time. I mean, what, about 3 minutes off the clock? And Westside into the end zone again, and it's not like they did it through the air. They just ran the ball down the throat of this Central defense and then finished it off with a little play action. Fullback leak out into the flat, nobody home. Too easy, just like stealing for that Westside offense.
Now remember, this is an offense. There's a ton of familiarity and a great game plan on that Westside sideline as Jack Bush splits the pillars, and it's now 14-7 Westside. Westside, in the middle of the summer, was the state 7-on-7 runner-up, so they play a lot of 7-on-7 And you can see all of the familiarity and why this show is lighting up Pacific Street over there on the West Side campus. On this week's Over the Middle High School Football Recruiting Podcast, host Jeremy Crabtree talks with Andrew Nomick, recruiting beat writer for the Oregonian and host of Recruiting with Andrew Nomick on 1080 The Fan in Portland, about Oregon's recruiting renewal under Willie Taggart. In his first year in Eugene, Oregon is off to a great start. They got a big game tomorrow night against Arizona State. Also, Independence Community College coach Jason Brown and star of the Netflix documentary Last Chance U gets us up to speed on the world of junior college prospects and how that landscape has changed. John and I and Megan and the whole crew, we are weekly podcast listeners of Over the Middle. You should be as well. You become smarter because Jeremy Crabtree is one of the best in the business, and he's one of our own. One of the best in the business right now is that West Side offense. They keep the West Side cheerleaders pretty happy, and they respond to make it 14-7, only 6 minutes and 26 seconds into the game.
A lot of scoring already in this one. I guess maybe not what the records said we were going to get, but here's another chance for this Central offense to respond.
Little pooch kickoff, and a fair catch was called for. Central now will be back out on offense as Cameron Boone took the kickoff. Lance Griffin played here at Central, went to Bowie State. We won 2 letters there. Has been an assistant in the Metro at Benson, Northwest, Central, and now after 2 very successful years at Omaha Concordia, where he led them to their first ever playoff appearance last year in C1. He came back to his alma mater and couldn't be prouder. And he has brought a lot of Central alums back into the fold. He would like to bring a victory here tonight. 0-4, down 14-7, but they scored on their opening drive. Through the air and on the ground, there was a mixture. This time they start on the ground as Williams maybe gets a yard.
What you want to see out of West Side on defense now is they've seen the run plays that gashed them on that first drive. They're going to need to tighten things up. Linebackers going to have to flow a little bit better, and that those front 3 have got to occupy some of those linemen to let their athletic linebackers move around. That's the goal of this 3-4 system. Freund said they, had to go with it because they just didn't have a lot of size. Had to get more athletes on the field and move around. So it's going to be incumbent on that front 3 to occupy some space.
Defense for West Side last 3 games have only get up a little over 8 yards per game. Williams is brought down at the line of scrimmage. Weideman was one of the initial warriors to make the hit on Williams. West Side has played Prep, Millard South, Omaha South, and Omaha Northwest. The schedule gets a little bit more difficult for West Side after tonight. Thursday, they play host to #1 Omaha Burke. They have invited us to come on Thursday night.
So kind of them.
Yeah, so we will be at Phelps Field on Thursday for West Side and Burke. 3rd down. Central to go to the air. Pass down the field is over the intended wide receiver Donald Perry, and he was open.
And that's the thing you kind of get with Avila. We saw, he throws a tight spiral. He can put a lot of heat on the pass, but sometimes those short to intermediate passes just get away from him. And, sometimes that's what you just have to deal with when you've got a backup quarterback in there. And now the defense has got to come up and get a stop.
14-7. If you weren't with us in the first minute, well, you missed Jaden Coles going 98 yards on the opening kickoff for a touchdown. Cameron Boone, who's 10th in Class A in punting, 35 yards per punt, takes the snap and sends it into the very, very humid nighttime air. 89 at kickoff. This will be returnable. Caleb Schweigert dancing away from a trio of Eagles, but then he lost his tap shoes and was knocked down after a pickup of 3. And here comes that West Side offense, 75 yards away from the end zone, up 14-7. Again, this is what West Side has done this year. We saw them opening night against Prep, responded with big victories the last 3 weeks, and a very manageable schedule, but they're in a district that includes #1 Omaha Burke and the defending Class A champion Bellevue West. West Side 3-1. They're now ranked number 10 in the Omaha World Herald poll.
Well, their last 3 opponents also have a combined 2 wins. So the level of competition hasn't been quite as high as it was in week 1, but you have to give them credit for going out and taking care of business.
Jaden Coles has been taking care of business. I think somebody wrote a song labeled that. And this time, in a run that looked like it was contained, Jaden Coles just got 9 yards. How?
He's just, you know, he's one of those guys that you call crafty. He just finds space. And Brett Freund said that sometimes they wish that he wouldn't use all those moves that he has in the bag all the time, but you have to like what he does when he does get it.
Lead handoff, and oh my, Coles with a burst. He almost broke it. Tugged down by Ellis Harder. Coles is standing in the end zone for the second time tonight. That is a big second down carry, and that is for first down yardage. Jaden Coles, who he's carving up defenses around the Metro. He might be carving you up someday. He would love to be a pre-med student. He's got the grades at Westside. That's what his future is. His future is also carrying the football, but in this case, not necessarily so. Great play, tackle in the backfield by Zach Palladino.
Yeah, Palladino's made a couple of nice plays in the backfield early on in this one. Flying around a little bit out there. You're going to see it right here. He's going to come from the right side of your screen, just flying through the line. Able to track down the speedy Coles in the backfield for another tackle for loss.
One of the many sophomores and juniors that are playing for Central. Palladino from his linebacker spot calling out the defensive coverage is a junior. And a missed tackle and off to the races. Parsonage with a stiff arm. Finally hauled down, and another huge pickup for Westside. This will get him inside of the red zone.
Love this play. You're going to pull the backside guard and tackle, and they're just going to kick out blocks. Look, and then Parsonage able to cut back underneath it against the grain. Good speed for Parsonage on the back end. Inside the red zone once again for this Westside offense.
Already up 14-7. Parsonage again, straight up the middle behind his blockers. Alex Nielsen, Cade Haberman.
You know what that was, Gary? The exact same play. Backside guard and tackle, pull around, kick out blocks. Parsonage cuts underneath them. Just doesn't quite pop out the other end like he did on the first one.
Second down and short. Westside spread, Central out. Snap back to Plotz. Again, that man. And he is hauled down. Deshaun Dial. Parsonage with a carry that will put up first down and goal. In this Westside offense, we saw them opening night, and all of the numbers they put up. 41, 48, 55, and 49 yards, or 49 points they've scored so far this year. Coles into the game. Coles inside of the 5. Christian Simmons was the first to hit him. Coles is 6'1", 185. He just looks like a running back.
Yeah, I mean, great body, great feet. You've seen him put the moves on. He's got the top end speed.
Last year ran for 409 yards and 6 touchdowns. Was a wide receiver running back. This year darted to the outside, cut back in. Does he get in? He was stopped just shy. He was reaching for the goal line, but he was down at the 1-yard line.
And you see what makes him so good right there. There's an unblocked man coming from the outside. So Jaden Coles presses the outside, forces that defender to stay outside, and then cuts back in where he's got help and almost gets in for the score. That's just savvy running.
His uncle Micah, All-State in basketball here in Omaha, and Alex Nielsen wearing 59 now that he's on the offensive line, but back at a familiar spot at fullback, and he plows in from a yard out for a touchdown. And just like that, Westside has put up a big crooked number in the first quarter. Sitting on 20, PAT away from going up 21-7.
And this is kind of what this Westside offense has done the last 3 weeks. They just score point after point after point, points in bunches. And before you know it, you're in a deep hole, and there's not a good way to climb out of it.
Great shot there. We're in downtown Omaha, one of the best views around. Ball into the nighttime sky and through the uprights for Jack Bush. And it is 21-7 as Alex Nielsen, again wearing number 59. Last time we saw him, Alex came up and said, "How you guys doing?" "I'm wearing 32. Tonight he said, Hey, I'm wearing 59. I'm a big guy number. Doesn't matter if he's put his hand in the dirt or if he's carrying a football. He is a key to success for Westside. As you're going to look at this drive that started at the 25 and ends up in the end zone, 21-7 Warriors.
And you know, it looked a lot like the first drive. Westside didn't throw a pass on this possession. Did not throw a single pass on the drive, which, I mean, given what they've done so far, that I can't believe I said that. All runs all the way into the end zone for an offense that came in with 1,100 yards through the air.
And an offense that on a day here in Omaha, first day of fall, we hit the mid-90s. Again, kickoff, it was 89 degrees, but felt like it was in the 90s. I think it's been warmer in season than it was during training camp for most of these schools. Peter Novoa with the kickoff. It's short, it's loose on the field turf at Siemens Stadium and finally covered up by an eagle.
Well, what you're seeing right now is Brett Freund is not proud. He says, you know what? We are not going to kick it to Jalen Harris. And sometimes you get coaches who get in this mindset of, no, we play our system. We don't care who we're against. It doesn't matter. We're just going to play. Well, that's fine. But if there's a guy on the other team who's extremely dangerous, don't let your pride get in the way. Keep the ball out of his hands. Good to see from Brett Freund.
Brett has led Westside to playoff berth 7 straight years. Both of these head coaches, big tip of the cap from our crew. They make our job so much easier. Avila throws deep down the field and a hand battle and a catch by Harris. He hauled it in. And that is a pickup of 34 yards for the leading wide receiver for the Central High Eagles.
And that's what I was saying. Avila throws a great deep ball, and he just lays it out there and lets Harris go get it. And boy, did he ever. Just a big heave down the field. Harris, safety coming over, corner, Guzman right on him. Ball in his hands, great catch.
9th catch of the year for Harris. He's now over 300 yards receiving. We're in week 5 of the high school season. Last year, he had 251 yards receiving. He's trying for his 3rd straight century mark in receiving yards. And that's a big pickup. Boy, is that much needed for Central that finds themselves down 21-7. They keep it on the ground here, and a fumble. Scrum for the football. And out of the pile comes Matt Gurnett, but they're going to say that the running back was down. There'll be a brief discussion. The Westside sideline would like to have a further discussion. Sean Johnston, the referee, says that's the end of the quarter.
So there's going to be a little time to talk it over.
There will be, but I believe it will stay with the running back was down before the ball came loose. Scoring explosion for Westside. Was he down? No replay in high school.
Charles Drew selected Cox Business because in the healthcare arena, it is imperative that we have transfer of data that is reliable, flexible, and fast. On average, Charles Drew Health Center has about 33,000 phone calls a month. With IP Centrics, the system was very intuitive, and it allowed us to be reactionary to the needs of our patients. Cox Business Solutions has allowed us to be more efficient and effective in meeting the needs of the greater Omaha community. Cox Business is a great partner.
At Woodhouse Auto Family, the buying experience is different, and the over 27,000 customers who bought from us last year know why. Our knowledgeable sales staff know the brands, the products, and take time to get to know you and guide you to your perfect vehicle. And that experience continues with any of our 16 service locations, and with trained advisors and technicians to help you maintain your vehicle. Experience the difference. Purchase with confidence. This is Woodhouse.
When kids have internet access at home, they're more successful in the classroom. If your child is a K-12 student and your family receives government assistance, you could qualify for discounted Cox high-speed internet for only $9.95 a month. To enroll, call 855-222-3252 or visit cox.com/C2C. And while you're there, check out the Cox Digital Academy for educational tools and web tips for the whole family.
21-7. This is how the first quarter ended. Fumble or no fumble, John Schreiner?
Well, we're going to see him pop out the backside right there. Ball's loose.
Ron Davis wasn't down. And on second down and short, a short run and a good tackle. Trevor Barajas came in and was able to give a little side tackle to Trey Williams, who after the hit to his hip went down and now trots off the field. And it'll be third down and short for Central. 21-7, just underway, second quarter. Week number 5 of Game Time on YurView, the Iowa Western game of the week. Boy, we're really lucky Iowa Western athletic director will be with Megan at halftime. In busy fall for athletics at Iowa Western. There's John Schreiner, Joe Ziske, our statistician. I'm Gary Sharp. Third down and short for Central. And Avila, trying to quarterback keeper, called his own number and slipped. And it's going to be fourth down.
Yeah, just as he was trying to make this cut up field, tripped over a lineman's foot. I think it's an option play. He just trips, and it's his fullback coming behind him. It just kicks his foot and knocks him down.
So the decision by Lance Griffin here on fourth down, and we eyeball it 3 yards, will be to go for it. 0-4 on the year. An offense that about 100 yards passing, 100 yards rushing a game.
Jalen Harris, top of your screen.
Got to gain the 34-yard line. They're looking for Harris. Here's the pass, catches it, and he is locked up right away, and he is held short of the sticks. Avante Dickerson from his defensive back spot came up and was able to bring down the 6'3" pass catcher. What an open field tackle.
Yeah, I think Harris tried to make a move, and when he caught it, he was right at the sticks. If he just starts backing up and falls a little bit forward, it's probably a first down, but he tried to make a move on the defender and got drugged back about a half yard.
That is a freshman that just made that fourth down tackle.
How about that?
Now Westside, already up 21-7, gets the football back, and Central wants to take a timeout. They did not have the right personnel on the field, and Lance Griffin trying to settle this team down, calls a timeout, and now looks to the sidelines to find the right person. Are you looking for a new career? Explore our programs in business, health, and technology. Get going today on your career path by visiting iwcc.edu. Iowa Western, the world is waiting. We are waiting for Class A to separate itself. There are 6 teams in Class A that are 4-0. It is not the greatest schedule in week number 5. There are only 2 games in Class A this week that both teams are above 500. There is 1 game where both teams are 500. So week 5, some teams are stepping out of district play like this one. But next week when we'll play Thursday, Friday, Saturday in Nebraska, because the University of Nebraska is playing a rare Friday night game at Illinois, we will have a lot of separation as district play continues. You got a great shot of downtown Omaha. This is where Siemens Stadium is on the campus of Omaha Central High School. It's one of the best views in the entire state for a school that has 2,600 students and has been around for a long time. Little slant, little catch, pitch and catch, first down. That is how this offense works. Joseph Stegman this time is on the receiving end, and just like that goes for 14.
And this is what we're used to seeing Dylan Plotz and company do. It's a little slant underneath the post of Cal Weideman, and Stegman finds himself wide open. Too easy for 14 yards.
Plotz is a 68% passer. He'll throw it again. Deep down the field, down the right side, and over the intended head of the wide receiver. Took a shot, man coverage on the outside, but just could connect with his wide receiver. And he's got plenty of them. There's a Central Eagle down. That's the last thing that Central needs. They are dipping into the sophomore and freshman ranks. And it may be just a cramp for Trey Williams. Again, humid night. We're going through multiple game time polos up here. Drinking a lot of water. John brought pickle juice. We're going to stretch it out at halftime. And they will stretch out Trey Williams right now. Central, as we mentioned, 0-4. Nobody would want to start their coaching career at Central playing Burke and North back-to-back. That's what happened to Lance Griffin. Then Bryan came in here and knocked off Central. That was the first time that Bryan had won in 28 games. We'll see Bryan against Benson later on in the season. And then traveled out west to North Platte. They were only down 1 going into the 4th quarter. Lance told me before the game that they made a lot of improvement. He hopes that continues. But then they got to go to Lincoln High next Thursday. Lincoln Southwest still have Millard West. They're in a very difficult district when you're trying to find your way with a young team.
Encircle that game at the end of the season against Papillion La Vista South. It might be the best chance to get a win for the rest of the year.
21-7. Lots, pitch, catch, big game. Cal Whiteman. Just like that, you go for 14 to Stegman, you go for 19 here to Cal Whiteman.
Now we saw Weideman show up in that first half of the game against Creighton Prep. Had 5 or 6 catches and over 100 yards in the first half of that game. Just a sophomore, youngster getting in on the action.
Sister is a highly recruited basketball player. Dylan Plotz, he just slings it. He's such a leader now in his 2nd year as a starting quarterback. Great command of the offense, great vision, great mobility. Sense looking downfield, slings it towards the end zone and just out of the reach of Caleb Schweiger.
But that's great coverage on the back end. You force Plotz out of the pocket, move him off his spot, force the scramble drill by the wide receivers. Good coverage downfield. The rush just has to get home.
Schweiger usually catches anything that is in his zip code. And this up-tempo rhythm offense of Westside. Central on a extremely warm night for the middle of September. They cannot substitute. Plotz is chased out of the pocket. Remember, he had a long run earlier, and now a little toss out of the backfield hits Weideman. Oh, he knew where he was on the field, knew that he had not crossed the line of scrimmage, just dumped it off to Weideman, and he took it another 7-8 yards down the field.
Great awareness. Just a little dump pass. Weideman wanted a face mask at the end and probably had a case. Deshaun Dial got a little hold to that face mask.
Back inside of the red zone, looking for the 4th touchdown of the night. Swings it out of the backfield, caught by Coles. Coles, touchdown for the 2nd time tonight. Jaden Coles is into the end zone.
I want you to watch when we get this replay how he reads the body position. He's one-on-one with the defender, and I think it's Nick Craig, the corner. Watch him read the body position. He's going to see Craig's pressing to the outside, and he just rounds it back underneath. I'm sorry, that was Perry. That was Donald Perry, but just such great awareness.
14 touchdowns now this year for Jaden Coles. Jack Bush has been busy. 28 are on the board. Remember, this is a Westside offense that every game this season they've scored 41 or more. They've got 28 with 7:08 to go in the first half. And a matchup against #1 Burke at home on Thursday night here on Game Time. Jaden Coles. 98-yard touchdown on a kickoff to begin the game. Now the reception here. A lot of these plays look very similar in the passing game this series.
Yeah, a lot of completions. That's the big key there. But how about this, Gary? Westside has failed to not score a touchdown every time they've touched the ball tonight. 4 possessions and have 28 points on the board.
And this is the 2nd time we've seen this act.
I mean, I'm not great at math, but I think that's 100% efficiency.
Done it on the ground, done it through the air. Coles did it on the opening kickoff, 12 seconds in from 98 yards. Westside 3-1. Last year, 500 record, lost in the first round of the playoffs. And this kickoff will be into the end zone. So Central, after that Coles kickoff return to begin the game, Central went right down the field and put it in the end zone. But they've had to punt, and then they were stopped on downs. But for them to have any semblance of a chance tonight, this has to be a drive that ends up in the end zone, in my opinion. with things you're trying to overcome, you can't be behind 28-7, give the ball right back to Westside. That is a recipe for disaster.
Well, this is a young team, Gary, and, you know, Coach Griffin knew that he had his work cut out for him when he came here, and you just need a little taste of success.
Inside handoff for good yardage on first down. Grant Taggy, Trevor Barajas, Joseph Stegman in on the tackle of Williams, who was slow to get up, had a cramp back on defense.
Trey Williams is hobbling around out there. Might be a good idea to get somebody in for him because I don't think he can run right now.
Trip to the locker room at halftime is upcoming. 3 wide receivers, top of your screen. Central down 28-7. Avila pump fake, and he is slowed up in the backfield and brought down. Officially a sack.
He just ran right into pressure.
Jerry Harwood
got there.
Junior defensive end who has flashed multiple times this year, credited with the sack. Avila to put it up. 3rd down and long. Deep down the field, and just a collision. No harm, no foul. Jalen Harris was looking for some, but he just got caught up with the defensive back. And Central will have to punt the football away.
Yeah, this is definitely not pass interference. The feet just got tangled up a little bit. You see the end result of it there, but just feet got tangled, and lucky to not have that one picked.
Cameron Boone, sophomore punter, and averaging over 35 yards per punt this year. Deep man for Westside, back in midfield, Caleb Schweiger. Here's Boone. Line drive kick. Schweiger to pick it up at the 45. Eludes one man, running right down the middle of the field. And he'll bring it to the 28. And Westside's offense is right back out there with a 28-7 lead and a great field position. Special teams tackle by Taiwan Deloach Lothridge. Iowa Western has the career choices that fit your busy schedule. Come to campus, study online, or enroll in evening classes now. Visit iwcc.edu. Iowa Western, the world is waiting. Get a look into part of downtown Omaha. That's the brand new Capital District, which is a couple of blocks from the Central High School. Central League Center, which is home to Creighton men's basketball, concerts, and more. And there is a flag, and what a catch by Schweiger. That's a touchdown.
Oh, that's a one-hander from Schweiger.
Everybody kind of stopped because of the flag.
Oh my goodness.
It'll be on Westside, illegal man downfield. But hold on to that highlight, even though it doesn't count as a touchdown. Caleb Schweiger might be showing that to his grandkids down the way. What a catch. Everybody stopped when the flag came down.
What the heck? How did he bring that in? And then managed to keep his body in bounds. Would have been a touchdown if not for the flag. Oh, you hate to see that effort wasted.
Odell Beckham Jr. says, how do you do, Mr. Schweiger? Also, you saw there in the replay, how about the flag toss by the referee? That one got air. So the penalty will move the ball back to the 34-yard line. Plots to put it up. Set up perfectly for Coles. Drew in the defenders, and now Coles has a lot of running room down the left side. Inside of the 10. Makes a move at the 5, and he's brought down from behind at the 1. Tracked down by Jalen Harris, but not before he goes for 33.
Well-designed screenplay. Plotz executes it to perfection, just dumps it off, and then let the man do the rest. Watch this little jump cut right here. Gotcha. Down to the 1 yard line.
Don't adjust your television. John provides sound effects as well. At the 1, up 28-7. No longer 34-7. Coles with his 3rd touchdown of the night from a yard out.
Touchdown made number 13,
Don't look now, Gary, but that's 3 touchdowns in this one for Jaden Coles, and we are not yet at the half. He is so far threatening his record of 6 touchdowns that he set just a couple of weeks ago.
Jack Bush to make it 28 unanswered. And he does. Coles on the catch, Coles on the run. Westside expands their lead to 35-7. Game time on YurView in the Iowa Western Game of the Week.
At DiVentures, we want to create a full-service customer experience. Cox Business, as our technology partner, does exactly that. The team at Cox Business came in, took a look at our business, and recommended top-notch solutions. With IP-Centrics, we have a managed, scalable solution to meet all of our customer needs. We get hundreds of phone calls a day, thousands over the course of a week. Because we have Cox Business, we can focus on what we love to do, being on the water and in the water.
Where will the next generation of caregivers come from? Who trains them? Who mentors them? Who inspires them? At CHI Health, we believe in the power of education. As partners with Creighton University, we are advancing a new era of academic health care. We're researching and collaborating to bring more minds to every case, every patient, every day. We're giving the future of care a new home. CHI Health. Imagine that.
Westside student section. Well, I see the students in the bib overalls. On a night like this, that might be the most comfortable thing.
It might be.
A tradition, they take off their shoe, they hold it up for the opening kickoff. Mom and Dad are just hoping they come back with the right pair of shoes, a right and a left one. 35-7, 28 unanswered now for this Westside offense is #1 in Class A. They will put Central in a hole to begin again. Jalen Harris, we haven't seen him return a kick, and that is by design, or at least be able to get loose on a kickoff.
Well, the last 2 kickoffs for Westside, they've been a bit of a gamble. They've gone into the end zone, but, you know, you strike that thing wrong and it pops up in the air a little bit. Harris is able to camp out underneath it. The first few had been just little pooch kicks to keep it away. Taking a little bit of a gamble, kicking it deep.
Harris had an 81-yard kickoff return for a score against Burke, 88 last week at North Platte. We've already had a kickoff return for a touchdown here. Jaden Coles went 98 on the opening kickoff. Dennis with the carry. Fullback. This is a Central offense that has lost their starting quarterback, numerous running backs due to injury. Lance Griffin told me lack of experience can either be good or bad depending on how you look at it. He knows that he has a long-term plan here at Central. Been very aggressive in the community. Had 2 junior highs play here before tonight's game. 2 junior highs, the majority of the kids end up at Central. A good run by Williams. Bulls his way. Or Archie, I beg your pardon. Bulls his way for yardage that is of the first down variety.
Yeah, that's a good run from James Archie. Sticks his nose in there, runs over a defender, runs through another one, and drags 3 or 4 for some extra yards. The Central offense needs to capture a little bit of what they had on that first drive. They ran the ball effectively, mixed it up outside, inside, and then were able to hit a pass over the top. You want to see them with a little bit of success on offense to just breed some confidence going into that halftime locker room.
Archie, 210 pounds, a junior. Toss play. Archie again This time for short yardage. Might have even lost a yard.
Well, this run, a little bit different than his first carry. Just looked a little bit hesitant going into that line. And one of the things as a running back, you've got to be decisive. You have to make quick decisions, put your foot in the ground, and get where you're going, because hesitating behind your line, for the most part, isn't going to get you anywhere.
Last time we saw someone wearing number 9 here at Central, Deshaun Neal, who was an all-state defensive end, now at the University of Nebraska. The last University of Nebraska scholarship recruit from Central back in 2015. Second down and 10 for Central, 35-7 Westside, trying to win their 4th in a row. Avila chased out of the pocket and had nowhere to go. Tried to step up in it, and by then he was done. Brody Alvarez, one of the first Warriors to bring down the senior quarterback.
You need a better job.
That as well.
You need a better job out of Dial and pass protection. He's got to step up and take on that blocker. But I'm not sure. It's a deep route, and it's only a 3-step drop from the quarterback. He's probably better served taking an extra step there, giving him some separation between the line. Give himself some time to throw, but better pass pro from the backs definitely needed.
Everybody talks about this Westside offense. Again, last 3 games, they've just given up 8 points per game. Remember, they gave up 45 opening night against Prep, who won last night against Papillion La Vista to move to 4-1. Whistle before the snap, delay of game on Central. That'll push them back 5 yards. Coming up on Thursday, adjust accordingly. Number 1, Omaha Burke, will be at Westside. We'll be on the air at 7 o'clock Central, right here on YurView. The game time on YurView next week.
Over under about 90 points on that one.
It will be an exciting one. It'll be our first look at the Burke Bulldogs. Preseason number 1 for a rare time. They have held off all comers so far. Avila throws it deep down the field into a double coverage, and it is swatted away by Tyson Guzman as he was looking for his favorite wide receiver, Jalen Harris.
Good blitz pickup by that offensive line. Ball delivered out there, but look, double coverage and a great play by the 6'3" corner Tyson Guzman.
Cameron Boone, punter for Central, has been a busy man. He is back to punt again. Good punt from Boone. And a catch by Gurnett. And he is immediately brought down on the special teams play by Malachi Bird. Interested in an exciting career in media studies? Check out the opportunities in TV, radio, and sports promotions at Iowa Western. Visit iwcc.edu. Iowa Western, the world is waiting. This is actually poor field position for Westside. They will start at their own 43-yard line. Central High School, which is undergoing quite an extensive renovation, opens up right into downtown Omaha. Burnett is upended by Palladino, who has had a good half defensively for Central.
Been in on a lot of plays as Palladino. Been good filling from that linebacker spot as this Westside offense has tried to run the ball more, maybe a little bit more than we expected in this one. Just one stop from this Central defense would make a world of difference.
We'll keep it on the ground with Ethan Shepard. And Shepard still on his feet, headed to the end zone, and he outruns everybody. 56 yards for Ethan Shepard. Doesn't matter where you are on the depth chart. This Westside offense is clicking on every single level. Look at this run by Ethan Shepard. We're going to look at it here in a little bit. 56 yards. There it is.
Great strength and then good speed to finish it off. Well blocked play, but there's just no one home at the second level to make a play for that Central defense. Linebackers all get washed down inside, and Shepard off to the races.
.35 unanswered now for Westside. And for the 5th straight game, they've gone over the 40-point mark, 42-7. Still 2:35 to go in the first half. Every time they've touched the ball, it has ended the end zone. Maybe it was a inkling of things to come when Jaden Coles took the opening kickoff, 98 yards for his scores. Get a look at Ethan Shepard. Ethan Shepard doesn't carry the ball very often this early in the game, but he gets the opportunity here. And 56 yards later, he's into the end zone, and you can see his teammates are very excited for the senior. They should be very excited about the way this offense has played, and they have not, as we've hinted here in the first half, they haven't had to do it with which is their strength, and that's throwing a football.
That's right. They have a short touchdown pass to Gurnett, and then the little slip pass to Coles where he broke a couple of tackles and made a few guys miss, but it certainly hasn't been throwing the ball down the field.
Peter DeVoe at kickoff, and he is given one instruction when he goes out on the field: do not kick it to number 4, Jalen Harris. He's done a good job of kicking it into the end zone. He'll do a good job here of doing it again. Touchback ball will come out to the 20, and Jalen Harris is, how about me? How about a chance?
Well, you start to wonder what the recipe is going to be from here on in for this Central offense. They have been able to connect with Harris on one big pass play. The fullback run game has been fairly successful, but not for any sustained period of time. And for Lance Griffin and company, it's going to be a question of just what do we do next?
And they broke the huddle with too many people in it. So that'll be a penalty for Central. To start back at the 15-yard line. Coming up at halftime, we'll learn more about what's going on with Iowa Western on the playing fields for the Reavers this fall and what is ahead. We'll hear from the Central Band. Get you stats and highlights from an explosive first half from the Westside Warriors. Toss play, and Williams is going to lose a yard.
They ran the same play on the first play from scrimmage and had good success with it. There was just no cutback lane there. Good flow from those linebackers to force it to the outside, and defensive back comes up and cleans it up.
Dylan Bruggeman with the tackle.
I think, you know, we're kind of at a loss right now for just how efficient this Westside offense has been, just marching the ball down the field every time they've touched it, and it's kind of put Central in a little bit of a daze.
A little inside handoff to the up man, and that'll go for maybe a yard. Dennis on the carry. And it's just been maybe the most difficult schedule in Class A. When you start the year with Burke and North, and then you get Westside in week number 5. Then you have to go to the capital city in week 6 to face another high-profile offense in Lincoln High, who is currently unbeaten, one of the 6 in Class A. Fumble. Williams couldn't hold on to the handoff, and the ball is recovered by Westside. Welp.
Sam Parsonage there to scoop up the bouncing ball, and with 53 seconds left, inside the 20. Westside offense with a chance to pretty much put a pin in this one before we head to the halftime break.
We will see what Brett Foyt elects to do, if they'll just sit on it. Up 42-7, 35 unanswered. Plotz in the pistol. Plotz will look to throw, steps up into the pocket, throws it to wide open Jaden Coles. That's a touchdown.
Touchdown number 13, Jaden Coles.
It doesn't get much easier than that. He just Plotz steps up in the pocket. Coles is standing all alone in the flat. And it just seems like the heads have started to drop a little bit on that Central defense. Nobody was really interested in making a tackle. And Jaden Coles pretty much waltzed into the end zone.
Fourth time he's been there tonight. This is the 7th time that Jack Bush has kicked an extra point. And it's now 49-7. That one play took 12 seconds. Jaden Coles' 98-yard kickoff return to open the game took 12 seconds as well.
Seven possessions, 7 touchdowns. That is the story of the first half of football here tonight. And if you thought perhaps that this Westside team would come on the road after 3 big victories and maybe sleepwalk into Siemens Stadium here tonight, you were wrong.
Central scored on their opening drive, and with a nice mixture of plays. And then Westside has adjusted, and Central has been bottled up since then. Megan Scolio will talk to Brett Foyt here at the end of the half. Give credit to Peter Navoa. He said, don't kick to Jalen Harris, and he said, okay, no problem, I'll put it in the purple. So out at the 20-yard line is where Central will take over. They fumble the football, and 12 seconds later, Westside scores with 41st and 42nd unanswered point.
When a team scores 49 points in the first half, the opposing team usually has had to have turned it over a bunch of times. That's not the case. That fumble was the first turnover of the night by either team in this game. That's incredible.
And a little discombobulation in the backfield. Dennis ran into his quarterback on the handoff, and he'll lose a yard. Clock running as we near halftime.
It just seems like the thread has started to unravel a little bit for Central. That opening kickoff pulled the loose string, and she's all coming apart.
And Central is going to let the clock run out here in the first half and head to the locker room. What a first half for Omaha Westside, the #1 offense in Class A, on display on Game Time once again, and they are not disappointing. We'll have those stats from that offense led by the quarterback Dylan Plotz coming up at halftime. Highlights as well. We'll check in with the Central band. Again, 49-7 at halftime. Westside, every time they touch the ball, they put it in the end zone. Started with a 98-yard kickoff return by Jaden Coles. He has added 3 more touchdowns. He's already had a game this year where he had 6 touchdowns. And a night where he had over 300 yards in all-purpose yards. Those 6 touchdowns, by the way, tied a school record. So Megan Scolio will join us here momentarily. And so we'll talk with Brett Foyt, who not sure how much he'll have to say about this other than, wow, 49-7 here at the break. Down to the field we go. Here is Megan, Coach Freud. Megan?
All right, Coach, every time your offense is on the field, you guys scored. Jaden Cole's 4 touchdowns alone. What'd you think overall?
The line's playing very well. They're blocking every play quite well. They're sustaining blocks. We got one man downfield one time in the wrong. We had an audible and he didn't catch it, but outside of that, they're playing great up front.
All right, thanks, Coach.
49-7 at halftime. The sounds from Siemens Stadium is next. This is Game Time on YurView, the Iowa Western Game of the Week.
When kids have internet access at home, they're more successful in the classroom. If your child is a K-12 student and your family receives government assistance, you could qualify for discounted Cox high-speed internet for only $9.95 a month. To enroll, call 855-222-3252 or visit cox.com/C2C. And while you're there, check out the Cox Digital Academy for educational tools and web tips for the whole family.
Okay, it's decision time. I want flexibility, more doing, hands-on experience, and working sooner. I gotta make a choice. I want to get started now. Find your path at iwcc.edu and get hands-on real-world experience. Start now at Iowa Western.
Bouncy ball. Look, it's almost alive. Advertising used to be simple. Make an ad, put it on TV, get results. Today, with all the new viewing options,
it's a lot more complex. At Cox Media, we make the complex simple. With precise targeting, transparency, and automation, we connect advertisers to audiences. Anyone, anywhere, on any screen. Advertising simplified. Contact Cox Media to learn more.
49-7. Omaha Westside leads Omaha Central at halftime here at Siemens Stadium in downtown Omaha. Let's head down to the field and learn more about what's going on with Reaver Athletics. Lots going on. Here with an update is Megan Scolio. Megan?
Football, all of our fall sports are doing well, competing at a high level, and making us proud. So it's been a great first half of the year.
Now, you came from New Mexico Junior College, where you're known for an extensive rebranding campaign, plus you played a huge role in student GPA growth. How do you plan on bringing that to the Reavers?
I just think it's a little bit of communicating to our coaches and even to our student athletes the way we want to run our business and we want to run our show. I think that when you have a solid brand, it's easier for people to buy in, the kids buy in, the coaches buy in, and then academics, I mean, that's the main thing. If the kids come to our institution and they don't finish their degree or they don't achieve academically, then to me that's a failure on our part. So the academics is by far and away the most important thing we do.
And now you have some new facilities there as well. How has that helped the Iowa Athletic Department?
Without a doubt. I mean, it's put us at the very top of the map, the top of the pecking order as far as what other institutions in junior college strive to be and want to be. And so from a recruiting standpoint, I mean, people just are attracted to those new facilities and they want to be a part of it. We're getting ready to open a brand new football and wrestling facility next December of 18, or excuse me, the spring of 18. We will bring on board a brand new student rec center, and it just adds to the quality of life on campus.
Nice. And what else makes Iowa Western so successful?
I just think the people and the support from the top down, the leadership from the president, the board of trustees, faculty and staff on campus. We're only as successful as the people on campus, our support from them. So that's really our bread and butter.
All right, thanks, Jeremy.
Thank you so much.
Gary, we'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Jeremy. Thanks, Megan. Good stuff going on with the Reavers. 49-7. Good things going on with Westside. It's game time on YurView, the Iowa Western Game of the Week.
You're the decision maker, weighing every option to make the smartest choice. That's why you start with Nebraska Medicine, an entire network of top providers working together to keep you healthy. From extraordinary primary care to world-leading research and treatments, so you can be confident everyone's health is in good hands. The state's most comprehensive care in 19 locations. Nebraska Medicine.
Charles Drew selected Cox Business because in the healthcare arena, it is imperative that we have transfer of data that is reliable, flexible, and fast. On average, Charles Drew Health Center has about 33,000 phone calls a month. With IP-Centrics, the system was very intuitive, and it allowed us to be reactionary to the needs of our patients. Cox Business Solutions has allowed us to be more efficient and effective in meeting the needs of the greater Omaha community. Cox Business is a great partner.
Okay, it's decision time. I want to take classes I need, spend less time working to pay for them. I want flexibility to transfer my credits. I want to get started now. Find your path at iwcc.edu and get hands-on, real-world experience. Start now at Iowa Western.
It is halftime, and let's lend an ear to the pride of Omaha Central, the Marching Eagle Band.
At Woodhouse Auto Family, the buying experience is different, and the over 27,000 customers who bought from us last year know why. Our knowledgeable sales staff know the brands, the products, and take time to get to know you and guide you to your perfect vehicle. And that experience continues with any of our 16 service locations, and with trained advisors and technicians to help you maintain your vehicle. Experience the difference. Purchase with confidence. This is Woodhouse.
When kids have internet access at home, they're more successful in the classroom. If your child is a K-12 student and your family receives government assistance, you could qualify for discounted Cox high-speed internet for only $9.95 a month. To enroll, call 855-222-3252 or visit cox.com/C2C. And while you're there, check out the Cox Digital Academy for educational tools and web tips for the whole family.
Of caregivers come from, who trains them, who mentors them, who inspires them. At CHI Health, we believe in the power of education. As partners with Creighton University, we are advancing a new era of academic health care. We're researching and collaborating to bring more minds to every case, every patient, every day. We're giving the future of care a new home. CHI Health. Imagine that.
49-7 at the break at Siemens Stadium, the campus of Omaha Central, in the heart of downtown Omaha. First National Bank building on your left, Woodman Tower on your right. There's a goalpost in the middle. There's also been a lot of Warriors that have been in the end zone, John.
Yeah, I've been lucky to not hit their heads on those goalposts a few times. Starting with this one, the opening kickoff, 98 yards. Jaden Coles. See you later, son. Taking it all the way to the house to get things started. But hey, Central offense would answer right back. Opening play, nice run from Trey Williams. And a big ball thrown down the field. Caught by Perry for the touchdown, and it was 7-7. And we thought, hey, ball game. We got a ball game on our hands. The Westside offense, though, would answer back with just 6 more touchdowns in a row. That one would break the deadlock. The short one to Gurnett. Fourth down conversion attempt came up just short. Westside would answer with another big drive. And this one would end with a touchdown pass to Jaden Coles. He of the 4 touchdowns in the first half. Dylan Plotz was really good. Escaping pressure, finding receivers. That little dump off to Jaden Coles would take it down to the 1. He would finish it off a play later for his 3rd touchdown. This one from Shepard, who's the 3rd string running back, getting a rare first half carry, makes the most of it. 56 yards to pay dirt. And then the fumble. This was the only turnover of the first half, which we were a little bit surprised at. And then Dylan Plotz would find Jaden Coles' 4th touchdown of the half for number 13. And we go to the break at 49-7.
And for the 5th straight game, Westside has scored 40 or more. That is the Bob Carey pedestrian bridge in the background. All Westside. 123 through the air, 182 on the ground. They came in leading Class A in offense, 551 a game. And probably not talking as much as we maybe should about that defense that has played some pretty sound football for the first half.
They really have. And after that opening drive, where they allowed some receivers to get behind them, gave up some rushing yards, I would have to believe most of those rushing yards came on that opening possession for Central. They haven't allowed much since then. Done just a nice job. The other thing about Westside is, in a game like this, you can get sloppy, you can let your mind drift a little bit. Just the 2 penalties for the Warriors.
And again, no turnovers. The lone turnover by Central resulted in a touchdown to Jaden Coles. 49-7. Westside leads Central. 3rd quarter kickoff from Omaha is next.
Bouncy ball. Look, it's almost alive. Advertising used to be simple. Make an ad, put it on TV, get results. Today, with all the new viewing options, it's a lot more complex. At Cox Media, we make the complex simple. With precise targeting, transparency, and automation, we connect advertisers to audiences. Anyone, anywhere, on any screen. Advertising simplified. Contact Cox Media to learn more.
Okay, it's decision time. I want to experience a 4-year college in 2 years. I want to live on campus but get to my career faster. I want to get started now. Find your path at iwcc.edu and get hands-on, real-world experience. Start now at Iowa Western.
All of our registration systems and the staff systems are based in the cloud, so it's important that our internet connectivity is up all the time. To me, it was clear as soon as we met with Cox Business, they were going to listen to what we needed and design a solution for what was going to be best for us. Having Cox Business as our one provider has allowed us to more easily manage our daily processes. If anything happens or if there's anything I need changed, it's just a phone call or an email away.
49-7, Westside against Central. Trying to figure out this Westside offense. It's not easy. We will get to see it again this upcoming Thursday. Game time on YurView, the Iowa Western game of the week. From Westside, the Warriors, who just entered the top 10 in Class A behind the strength of their quarterback Dylan Plotson, Jaden Coles, and a host of others, will play host to #1 Omaha Burke, which right now at halftime is leading Northwest 21-0. Another game of note, the game of the night in Class A, #3 Omaha North against #8 Grand Island. It is 6-6 at halftime out in central Nebraska.
How about that score? We've talked about it. These teams from the Metro that have to go west to Kearney, Grand Island, North Platte, you can sometimes get a little flat coming off the bus after that 3-hour drive. We'll see how that North Grand Island game turns out.
Last week, Central had to go all the way out to North Platte. And for any of our viewers that are out in central or western Nebraska, you're like, yeah, look at where we have to travel, especially in Class B.
Yeah, there's some long road trips in B. Scotts Bluff is a Class B team. McCook is a Class B team. Shadron, a Class B team.
Jaden Coles, that's not a bad night. 58 yards rushing, 62 yards receiving, and then that 98-yard kickoff return for a touchdown that began the game. 4 touchdowns, now has accounted for 16 scores in the first 4 games and a half.
I've got 208 all-purpose yards through one half of play.
That would be pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That might garner Player of the Week. I wonder how much we will see of him here in the second half. Brett Freund was able to play a lot of his backups there in the first half. You saw a touchdown by Ethan Shepard, whose father Amos is a Omaha police sergeant. Ethan doesn't get to play a lot in the first half, but when you go 56 yards for a touchdown, you put your name on the board that you would like more playing time. Central will get the football to begin the second half, down 49-7. As Peter Navoa has done a good job of keeping it away from Jalen Harris, and he'll do it again.
That's a heck of a kick. That's all the way through the back of the end zone before it hits the ground. So Navoa getting it done with the leg here tonight.
What will the Eagles do to begin the second half? Here's Megan. Megan?
Griffin just before the third quarter and asked what he told his team at the half, and he said, just fight, play with pride, and don't quit. This team has been hit by the injury bug this year, so they have a lot of guys playing both sides of the ball. He said, when your number's called, be ready to step up.
Thanks, Megan. Lance, who you see there with the headset on, affectionately known to some as Michigan Lance, diehard Michigan fan. He was a assistant in college at Wayne State. 98 graduate of Omaha Central. There's so much pride in him coming back to his alma mater, being in charge of this program. Knows and loves the game, and Avila just throws that one up for anybody. Wanted Nick Craig, but it was knocked away. It'll be second down.
Yeah, just on a play like that, you throw late back across your body, it usually spells interception. Craig able to get in there and fight for the ball and prevent that from happening. But as Avila grows up as a quarterback, he's going to learn these things, and just held on to the ball a little bit too long.
Holding on the play, the penalty is waved off by Westside, so it'll be 2nd down and 10. Avila in the gun. Steps up, fires across the middle, and it is incomplete. Nick Craig was the intended wide receiver, just skipped off his fingertips.
Yeah, and then plays like that, when he puts it in a spot where you have a chance to make a play, you need to do it. You know, it was Avila's fault the last time, didn't get the ball out quick enough. That one, that's a catch that just has to be made, plain and simple.
And this pass comes up short, intended for Jalen Harris. And Central will go 3 and out and have to punt the football away.
But you know what? I don't mind the play calling here. You're down 49-7. You got a running clock. What do you have to lose? Try to get the ball in the hands of your playmakers. You know, put the ball up, throw it down the field. Why not? It's 49-7. Try something.
Cameron Boone back to punt once again. Punt fielded by Gurnett. And he'll bring it back to the 33-yard line.
Okay, I got a question for you. How many fullbacks get to return punts? That's the 2nd punt return on the night for Matt Gurnett.
49-7. First time we'll get to see the Westside offense here in the 2nd half that has scored 42 unanswered. As you heard about the Iowa Western athletic program at halftime, full action all fall. Championship sports teams, including football and volleyball. And you can stay up to date on Iowa Western athletics at GoReavers.com. Iowa Western, the world is waiting. Parsonage, the opening carry of the 2nd half.
And you wonder how much of Jaden Colesville we actually see here in the 2nd half with a game that's already out of hand. It's probably going to be a lot of Parsonage and a lot of Shepherd here in this 2nd frame.
And you do have a little bit of a short week with a Thursday game. Parsonage again with good blocking in front. Now he's off to the races before he's hauled down at the 20.
We've noted
one after another on this Warrior offense.
We have noted the struggles that this offensive line has had this year, but look at this. You got linemen all the way downfield mixing it up, running ahead of Parsonage. 2 offensive linemen all the way down the field making blocks, getting in on the pile. Just a great effort from this front.
3rd straight carry. And holding on. Michael Sanders grabbed onto Parsonage and tried to grab every piece of that 22 to make sure he wasn't going anywhere, and it was able to tug him down, or that would have been another touchdown.
Hey, good toughness from Sanders. Tenacity to hold on here. Be easy to just kind of let go, give up. We're down a bunch, but Sanders is still out there playing. Good to see.
Parsonage again roped down from behind for minimal yardage. Zach Palantino has been a stalwart on defense tonight for Central. Holds him off.
Now the other question becomes, when do you get Dylan Plotz out of there? He's the engine of this offense, and the last thing you'd want to see is a mop-up time injury for Plotz. And I would imagine it's a series or two, and then his night will be done.
Get a running clock to begin the second half. It'll be 4th down for Westside. Dylan Plotz, great on the field, great in the classroom. Has an interest in Stanford, interest in Ivy League schools, an interest in continuing his football career. He has put up some big numbers the last 2 years and will face a big, big game Thursday here on YurView against #1 Omaha Burke. 4th down, Westside will go for it, and once again they keep it on the ground, and Parsonage is into the end zone. Weaved his way through the traffic, and the little man who stands 5'7", now standing on top of the mountain, 55-7 Westside.
Well, that's 8 straight. And Sam Parsonage now the fourth back to rush for a touchdown. Coles, I guess Gurnett had a touchdown reception, so he's the 4th back to score a touchdown in the game. Between Shepard, Coles, Gurnett, and now Parsonage. 4 touchdowns from the running back group.
Snap, hold, kick up, kick good. 56-7 Westside. This is Game Time on YurView. The Iowa Western game of the week has been all Westside.
You're the decision maker, weighing every option to make the smartest choice. That's why you start with Nebraska Medicine, an entire network of top providers working together to keep you healthy. From extraordinary primary care to world-leading research and treatments, so you can be confident everyone's health is in good hands. The state's most comprehensive care in 19 locations. Nebraska Medicine.
When kids have internet access at home, they're more successful in the classroom. If your child is a K-12 student and your family receives government assistance, you could qualify for discounted Cox high-speed internet for only $9.95 a month. To enroll, call 855-222-3252 or visit cox.com/C2C. And while you're there, check out the Cox Digital Academy for educational tools and web tips for the whole family.
56-7. No, those are not members of our crew.
Though they could be if they go to Iowa Western.
That's actually, well, yeah. I mean, it's actually some of our camera guys. We got Derek and Larry and Greg and Carl there. Also, is that Bob? I got Brian on the end.
Bob, get back in the audio booth.
All members of the Game Time crew. Westside Warriors student section, pretty happy. Of 56-7. That is now 49 unanswered for the Westside Warriors. #1 offense in Class A. This is what they have done so far this year. 41, 48, 55, 49, 56 in the third quarter with the clock running in week #5, and they have done a great job of avoiding Jalen Harris. John will let you know here that he knows the running clock rules inside and out, so he may be having some speaks with the clock operator.
Well, the clock isn't running.
That would not be good when it's supposed to be running.
So, I mean, I don't know. There have been some oddities for sure with the clock tonight. Now the clock is running.
So an opportunity for more reps for Central. And they've been hit by injuries at key positions. And this play is gobbled up in the backfield. Bobby Hurley, not the Arizona State basketball coach. Cade Yoakum, the tackle.
A lot of players rotating in now on this Westside defense, and as we've said so many times, Gary, This is where you build success, right here. When you get those young players, those second team players, guys who maybe are primarily JV players, you get them on the field on Friday night, they get a little taste of the action. So valuable.
Second down and long for Central. Avila will put it up. Deep down the field looking for Harris. He's got a step, and it's just off of his fingertips as he lunged forward. He had beaten the freshman defensive back Dickerson, but could not haul it in. Frustrating night continues for the speedster Jalen Harris.
Great protection. Look at this wall that the offensive line sets. Avila lays it out there just a half a yard too far.
It'll be third down, another passing down for Central. Jaden Coles took the opening kickoff 98 yards for a touchdown. Central went right back down the field and tied the game at 7. And it has been all Westside since then. Avila, no opportunity to throw. He goes down, and Bobby Hurley has himself a sack.
Yeah, and this is another one of those inexperienced quarterback kind of plays. You're going to see Avila. He runs right into the pressure. Doesn't cut back underneath. His tackle is set up, pushing his man to the outside. And that quarterback needs to step underneath of that and step back up into the pocket. And Avila just unable to make the play.
There are some really talented sophomores and juniors that are out there right now for Westside's defense. Boone to punt again. This one is a short one. Got a good bounce, though, for the Eagles, and it will roll into Westside territory, and it is down to the 45-yard line. 56-7. The Westside offense will trot out there once again. And while they do, and before we get back to the play-by-play, why don't you tune in to 89.7 The River right now? It is your home to awesome alternative rock music. Check them out on the stream at 897theriver.com or search the App Store for 89.7 The River. Iowa Western, the world is waiting, and they're actually waiting for you to get a hold of them and request songs on this Friday night.
How about that? I have a request. How about a stop?
Do I dare ask?
How about a stop from the Central defense? Just let's get a stop here and feel good about ourselves a little bit for that Eagle sideline.
New quarterback in for Westside, Ethan Shepard, who already has a touchdown run, is stopped. The new quarterback for Westside is Nick Lamb.
Normal second string quarterback is Brett Curran, who has thrown 7 passes on the season, but Nick Lamb coming in this situation.
And Lamb lost his footing coming out from center and just trying to toss it to Shepard, and the loose ball on the turf, and it is recovered by Central. So, John, you asked for some positive vibes for the defense. Lance Griffin, their head coach, is not happy because he would have wanted you to ask for those earlier in the game. But that's a good spot for Central there to get a recovery, because now their defense doesn't have the goal line at their back. They'll have some room. And again, quarterback stumbled coming out from under center and just threw it up, and Shepard really didn't have a chance. Good job by Central to recover the fumble first turnover of the night for Westside, with the clock running here in the third quarter. 56-7. Central offense is back out there, and this is their best field position by far.
But you know what else I saw? Was Cam Boone in the backfield making a play, getting in Shepard's face, not allowing him to comfortably catch that odd pitch. Perhaps caused him to drop it on the turf.
And a good first down carry by Dennis, who has been the workhorse tonight. Central is down a couple of, at this school we'll call them I-backs, I-back U. Good job by Dennis. Just kind of got most of those yards on his own, just plowed through, and they got to the second level.
That's been one of the best running plays for this offense tonight, is just the fullback dive. Give it to Dennis and let him find a little seam, run over a couple of guys. He looked pretty good running that play.
on the carry inside of the 30.
Look, if you're getting 3 to 5 yards a pop with the fullback dive, why not run it a couple of times in a row? That's exactly what they've done right here. And it starts to get those linebackers thinking about the inside run. Maybe you hit them with a little toss sweep. Maybe you throw it to the outside to Jalen Harris.
21-7 after one. It was 49-7 at the break. Parsonage with the lone third quarter touchdown. Running clock now under a minute. Play action. Avila keeps it, steps up on the run, and he'll be about 4 yards short of the first down.
Well, this is an extremely generous spot, Gary. He's only going to be 2 yards short. Really fortunate spot for Central. It's going to be 3rd and short right here.
Be the final play of the third quarter from Siemens Stadium. Williams couldn't elude the first tackler as Nicholas Connolly, who you know his brother quite well, who is a stalwart middle linebacker, makes the stop on Williams, and that'll set up a 4th down in the 4th quarter when you return. 56-7 Westside over Central. It's game time on YurView, the Iowa Western Game of the Week.
At Diventures, we want to create a full-service customer experience. Cox Business, as our technology partner, does exactly that. The team at Cox Business came in, took a look at our business, and recommended top-notch solutions. With IP Centrics, we have a managed, scalable solution to meet all of our customer needs. We get hundreds of phone calls a day, thousands over the course of a week. Because we have Cox Business, we can focus on what we love to do, being on the water and in the water.
At Woodhouse Auto Family, the buying experience is different, and the over 27,000 customers who bought from us last year know why. Our knowledgeable sales staff know the brands, the products, and take time to get to know you and guide you to your perfect vehicle. And that experience continues with any of our 16 service locations, and with trained advisors and technicians to help you maintain your vehicle. Experience the difference. Purchase with confidence. This is Woodhouse.
Bouncy ball. Look, it's almost alive. Advertising used to be simple. Make an ad, put it on TV, get results. Today, with all the new viewing options, it's a lot more complex. At Cox Media, we make the complex simple. With precise targeting, transparency, and automation, we connect advertisers to audiences. Anyone, anywhere, on any screen. Advertising simplified. Contact Cox Media to learn more.
Start of the 4th quarter, and Dickerson drops the pass that was intended for Jalen Harris, and Central will turn it over on downs. Two new head coaches in the top sports at Central for boys football. Lance Griffin, we told you about him coming back to his alma mater. Eric Behrens has come back to Central. He'll be the boys basketball coach once again in the winter with his loaded roster.
I think you forgot some words in there. To the dismay of the rest of the Metro.
Omaha Central basketball, heck of a run. And Eric Behrens left, went to Peru State for a couple of years. Now he is back. His son Roman will be the starting guard. Loaded roster. Mr. Polk, Mr. Wrightsell. Be a good winter here in the Metro for high school basketball. As Ethan Shepard, as I mentioned earlier, his dad Amos is an Omaha police sergeant in the Northwest Precinct with a pickup on first down. Gets 7 yards. Running clock here in the 4th quarter. But Central basketball was a dynasty. Eric's father Rick, previously the head coach, then Eric took over. And some unbelievable talent.
You think that had to be a drawback for Coach Behrens, right? That the opportunity to coach his son in this final year of high school, And that would be a big draw.
56-7 Westside. They've scored 49 unanswered. And penalty is Westside in, jumps, pushing back 5 yards. Coming up on Thursday, our Game Time crew will travel to Westside High School. Top 10 showdown. Number 1 Omaha Burke against currently number 10 Omaha Westside. The Burke Bulldogs tonight shutting out Northwest. There'll be a lot of skill position talent on the field. Here is Shepard trying to get to the outside, and he can't turn the corner. Deshaun Dial with a good open field tackle from behind, bringing down Shepard, and the time for Westside to punt the football for a rare time tonight. That would be the first time that they've had to punt the football. As a preview of Thursday night, again, we are with you on Thursday. Nebraska is playing Illinois on Friday, so a lot of schools in the state have adjusted their schedule. Some are even playing on Saturday at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln. But John, you'll have a preview that'll be up on YurView.com leading up to the game. We get a little insight into some of that talent that is Burke High this year. The preseason number 1 that has no doubt stayed at number 1.
Well, there's no doubt, and getting to watch them in practice, you understand why. They are a hard-working bunch, and there is no wasted time at that Burke High practice. They are 90 miles an hour for 90 minutes, you know, just run, run, go, go, go. And then I got a chance to talk to James Burks, who's an interesting character. We'll have a story coming up on him.
Don't miss any of the action. You can go to yourview.com/football and sign up for the Game Time newsletter to get the previous week's highlights, stories, and recruiting news, along with a preview of the upcoming week's matchups delivered straight to your inbox. I got mine earlier this week. Went through all of it. I know everything there is to know about our games, what's going on in Oklahoma, Arizona, East Coast. yourview.com/football. Central, a little mix-up on the personnel they had on the field, so they will have to burn a timeout here. 56-7. We're in the fourth quarter. There is a running clock. Couple of weeks we will get to see the number 1 team in Class B, Elkhorn South, who tonight is trying to win their 31st in a row.
Unbelievable.
They will be taking on Elkhorn. And then you look further down the road. Remember, we're in week 5. It's a 9-week regular season schedule in Nebraska. We will finish the regular season schedule with Burke and Bellevue West. So the preseason number 1 team and the defending Class A champion. In between, Burke's got some challenges, including Thursday night at Westside, and then the following week against Omaha North. So you look at Brett Freund. Boy, he's got to be excited the way the season has started. Lost to Prep on opening night, but they are closing in on their 4th straight victory.
Got Burke, North Star, Bellevue West, and Norfolk to close out the season. You got a couple of 4-0 teams down the stretch. They're going to be big tests. And this Westside team going to find out where they really are starting next week.
Richard Avila, the quarterback for Central, senior. Snap back to him, throws in the flat, and it is picked off by Cal Whiteman. Boy, here in Nebraska, that looked like a very familiar play. Oh, did not go for a pick 6 like last Saturday in Lincoln, but Cal Whiteman read that perfectly, stepped into the pass to the flat, and the turnover, the second of the night for Central, gives Westside great field position.
Ball comes out too late. Avila's got to put some zip on that thing, and it's got to be turn and fire. There's no time to take 2 or 3 steps and look around and see who's open. If it's a flat pass, you got to zing that thing, and Avila just didn't get enough on it, and Whiteman was right there.
I mentioned earlier, his sister Quinn is deciding between Wyoming and Illinois State where she's going to play her college basketball.
Tremendous basketball player. We've seen her on the Game of the Week a couple of times. Put that Westside girls team on her shoulders. She's hit some buzzer beaters on the Game of the Week now. She's a heck of an athlete.
Very good. girls basketball program at Westside. Jim Simons is the new boys basketball coach at Westside. We wish Jim the best of luck. He'll have a very talented roster. They'll be young. But again, high school basketball will be very, very good. As Shepard with a stiff arm on Boone and headed to the corner before he's knocked out of bounds. And we talk about youth on the heels of mentioning about basketball. You look through the Metro, we've seen now, John, for 5 weeks. The future of football in this city, in this area, is really, really bright. With the amount of sophomores, juniors, and even freshmen that are at key spots in key schools.
There is no doubt. And you and I were talking at the halftime break about Millard South, and they got a sophomore who started for them as a freshman last year, and Kirk Herbolsheimer, who already as a sophomore getting some big-time eyes turned his direction. He is a big boy and is playing at a very high level.
Millard South got a key victory tonight for Andy Means and the Patriots, winning at Lincoln Southeast. They've won 3 in a row after starting the year 0-2, and one of those losses was to Omaha Westside when Jaden Coles put the ball in the end zone 6 times. Quarterback Nick Lamb is trying to push forward. Again, Westside and Burke coming up Thursday night, 7 o'clock Central airtime. Game time on YurView. Tell your friends we're with you on channel 1013 every week during the regular season. Hand off to Shepard. Shepard cutting to the outside, and for the second time tonight, he is into the end zone. Ethan Shepard makes it 62-7.
It's a nice run by Shepard. If I'll offer, I mean, it's a touchdown run. So I don't want to be too critical, but Shepard will learn in time that not every run should be bounced to the outside. Previously on this drive, he bounced one to the outside that really should have been cut up off the hip of his blocker. But hey, the result speaks for itself, 6 points.
More points on the board, 63-7 Westside over Central. This is game time on YurView in the Iowa Western Game of the Week as Ethan Shepard comes right into your living room.
Schedule your campus visit today. Iowa Western. The world is waiting.
(63-7). Westside leads Central. Let's get a fantastic look into downtown Omaha from our crew. All with us. And we'll pack up the gear and we'll head over to 87th and Pacific here in Omaha for Thursday night football in a top 10 matchup. Westside has left no doubt. Short kickoff. Harris will have a chance to return it, but not very much room as he tried to reverse field. And Jalen Harris with 3 kickoff returns for touchdowns this year. Westside said, do not kick it to number 4.
Did a good job of it. They've kept the ball out of his hands all night long. And as I said at the outset, we've seen it. Double coverage for most of the night. Haven't kicked it to him. Smart game plan by this Westside coaching staff. A team like Central, you just don't want to give them any chance to feel like they're in the game, and Westside never made any mistakes to do that.
We'll talk to Brett Front, and our player of the game, have some stats, so some highlights before we say goodbye. Antoine King, who was just brought up to the varsity before tonight's game, a freshman with the carry. Will he be the next in the line of great Central I-backs?
Well, Lance Griffin was very complimentary when we spoke to him, said that he's good, he's going to be there.
We talked about young players, talk about running backs. You've got the two-headed monster at North, Xander Gray and Milton Sarbaugh, who twice this year each have gone over 200 yards in a game.
The offenses in the Metro right now are just something else, aren't they? I mean, Westside's putting up 40, 50 points week in, week out. Omaha North running for 400 or 500 yards a week. We see the Burke offense lighting teams up left and right. Offensive football in this city, bit of a renaissance going on right now.
Third down for Central. And a handoff to Dennis, and he bowls his way for a first down. Doesn't get any easier for Central. They play Lincoln High next week. Next three opponents coming into tonight's action, a combined 10-2.
That's pretty good.
Well, they definitely have the toughest schedule of anybody in the state to begin the year. So a first down here, down 63-7. Another handoff to Dennis over the right side for a couple of yards.
No, ball on the ground now, as you got to feel that Coach Griffin would like to get his guys back to the locker room, put this one away, lock it up, don't think too much about it, and move on to next week.
And he admits it. It's been a learning experience from top to bottom. He knew it would be a challenge. He's trying to get his players as much experience as possible, game reps. He's had to adjust his roster due to injuries, calling up freshmen, calling up juniors. Freshman Antoine King with another carry. Lance, who does not teach in the Central school, he actually is part of the Omaha Street School, which is across the street from Central High. He is the director of Gap U. He takes great pride in inner city youth and making sure that they are ready for the real world. You ask him about being a Central alum and being with Omaha Street School, and Lance's face just lights up. Casey Caff with the carry. As we are down to our final play. Westside will win their fourth in a row. They'll be 4-1. Central will drop to 0-5. And Central will just let this run out. And an impressive showing by Omaha Westside. 56 unanswered points. Final score, Westside 63, Central 7. We'll hear more from the Warriors after you return. This is Game Time on YurView.
Where will the next generation of caregivers come from? Who trains them? Who mentors them? Who inspires them? At CHI Health, we believe in the power of education. As partners with Creighton University, we are advancing a new era of academic health care. We're researching and collaborating to bring more minds to every case, every patient, every day. We're giving the future of care a new home. CHI Health. Imagine that.
You're the decision maker, weighing every option to make the smartest choice. That's why you start with Nebraska Medicine, an entire network of top providers working together to keep you healthy. From extraordinary primary care to world-leading research and treatments, so you can be confident everyone's health is in good hands. The state's most comprehensive care in 19 locations. Nebraska Medicine.
At Woodhouse Auto Family, the buying experience is different, and the over 27,000 customers who bought from us last year know why. Our knowledgeable sales staff know the brands, the products, and take time to get to know you and guide you to your perfect vehicle. And that experience continues with any of our 16 service locations, and with trained advisors and technicians to help you maintain your vehicle. Experience the difference. Purchase with confidence. This is Woodhouse.
You're watching this week's Game Time on YurView, the Iowa Western Game of the Week. Big night for Westside, 63-7. Big night for Megan Scolio because she gets to talk to Brett Freund and Jaden Coles. Megan?
All right, Coach. We talked a little bit about your offense at the half, but I just want to ask again. You had 4 different running backs alone score touchdowns tonight. Just overall, how do you feel about that?
Well, when you have 4 running backs, making runs, making plays, you got a line blocking, and they did a great job second half too. Even the second guys that came in, really proud of them. Jaden does a great job of setting up blocks, but those guys up front did a job tonight. Really proud of them.
And now you guys have #1 Burke next week. How does this game get you ready for that?
Well, every game gets us ready, but we'll enjoy this tonight, and we'll get ready for them tomorrow, but we're excited for it, for sure.
All right, thanks, Jaden. Let's get you in here. All right, you had a big night. One of the keys to the game coming in was just to strike early, and you did that with a 98-yard kickoff return. Walk me through that play.
Well, before the play, I just saw that there's an open gap in the middle, so when I got the ball, I just hit the hole hard, and then I was off.
Coming into this game, you had 12 touchdowns. You added 4 to that tonight. Overall, how does that feel?
It feels good. I only had like 11 last year, so I'm already ahead of that. So I just feel like my work is paying off.
What's the biggest difference this year?
I just think like last year it was like my first time starting varsity, so now I'm like used to it, so it's better.
All right, thanks, Jaden.
Thanks, Coach Freund, Jaden Coles, and Megan Scolio. 63-7. Westside now 4-1. Central falls to 0-5. And let's take a look how Westside constructed this victory here tonight, John.
Yeah, they got things going early, as Megan mentioned.
They were in rhythm, is I think what you're meaning to say.
It was 49-7 at the half. And the second half went much the same as the first. There's the first touchdown from Central.
There's going to be a lot of offense here. A lot of offense. Gurnett with a touchdown reception from Plotz. And some defense mixed in.
Yeah, Plotz had a good night. He threw the ball well, found his receivers, and Jaden Coles just had himself another monster game. 4 touchdowns. Couldn't be stopped. Got the third string back in early in the first half. What does he do but take it to the house from 56 yards out? And it was really all Westside. After that first Central drive that scored their only 7 points of the night, Warriors just would not be stopped. Jaden Coles, masterful in the open field tonight. A lot of points on the board for Westside. Hey, Sam Parsonage looked really good tonight as well. Had himself a nice night, got in the end zone. And Shepard would add another touchdown to polish things off for the Warriors.
63-7. That is the post-game traffic right there that you saw. Here are the stats. A pretty thorough effort by Westside. Number 1 offense in Class A. Didn't disappoint tonight. Played well defensively. Dylan Plotz, 261 yards passing. Didn't need a lot out of Jaden Coles. 98-yard kickoff return, as you saw there on the highlights.
You hold anybody under 150 yards total offense, you're going to have a good night. It doesn't matter what you do offensively, really. You hold the other team under 150, you're in good shape.
Westside's only given up 2 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks, and now they get ready for that prolific Burke offense.
Well, I mean, you see it here. A lot of players rested up in that second half. Legs should be fresh and ready to go on Thursday night.
We can tell you the traffic is moving along smoothly. That is where we are headed in just a little bit. And then we are headed this Thursday to Westside High. What a game it should be. Top 10 matchup. We'll see the number 1 team in Class A, Omaha Burke and Omaha Westside. Thanks to all of you that joined us tonight for our entire Game Time crew. For Megan Scolio, for John Schreiner, I'm Gary Sharp. Final score, Westside over Central, 63-7. Game Time on YurView, the Iowa Western Game of the Week. Good night, everybody. Okay.